we have the unhealed childhood wound. We have that childhood trauma that is there.
But because yelling doesn't give results, your children will end up running away. They will not tell you, they will start living the life of avoidance.
Why do well-meaning parents who love their children, parents who want the best for their children, why do we yell? Why?
What if the family you came from doesn't have to define the family you create? Welcome to the Family Life Podcast. I am UC Samuel, a family life practitioner, or what you may call family life coach, and I'll be your host for today's episode. In the studio are our amazing guests, and I will introduce them right after the short break, so stay with me.
Welcome back. With me here, I have two beautiful ladies, lovely and amazing. And without wasting your time, let's meet by my right.
My name is Ogochukwu, Anyanwu.
And then my left,
I'm Blessing Oladimeji.
Blessing and Ogochukwu, you're welcome to today's episode.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
And it's a very interesting one. This is something parents drastically, desperately want to change, but they don't want to talk about it. If you ask them, because I'm a parent myself. So we want to change it, but we don't want to talk about it. Now, let's be honest. The calmest of all parents will have moments when our volume rises.
Yes, sure. Definitely.
And truthfully, parenting can push all buttons. And that is why we have come in today to discuss how to effectively parent without yelling. So if you're like me and other people, that once in a while our moments will come and then probably we just scream, shout, yell, and then you walk away sometimes and you just tell yourself, whispering, oh, there could be a better way than this. Today, we have experts who are going to be discussing to help us handle this situation. So let me start with you, Blessing. Why do well-meaning parents who love their children, parents who want the best for their children, why do we yell? Why?
So this yelling conversation, sometimes it feels like, can it end? But I would say that what happens with it is, why do well-meaning parents yell?
Yes, because every parent means well.
And they didn't plan to yell.
Yes.
And they find themselves yelling.
Why?
So there are many background issues to it.
Okay.
So, we have the unhealed childhood wound. We have that childhood trauma that is there. So
as
because
a parent
growing up,
now.
that's as a parent.
Okay.
Now, growing up, seeing everything we saw around, with our parents, with our teachers, with uncles and aunties,
Our
grandparents, everyone around us, right? We continue to see things that were going into our subconscious.
Okay.
So because they went into our subconscious, because no one called anyone and said, you shout when you meet yourself in situations like this.
True.
Right? So you just watch, you just observe things and you were going there. So sometimes you felt the only way to get results is to shout.
Huh.
And the moment parents feel that way and they start shouting and they think it's working.
Yeah. Okay.
So they think it's working, right? So there's that thing of, okay, it's working, because growing up they saw it. They saw that their own parents use that shouting, then yelling, increasing their volumes, threats, to
as a measure of correction, as a measure to be in control.
So that one happens whereby you have to now sit and say, what did I see growing up in my environment, in my family? What were the things I saw? How did I see parents interact? Because I'm sure some of us can also remember that when growing up, there were some families we saw, and we liked what we saw in those families.
Maybe they weren't shouting.
Maybe they were not shouting. And they were having a good conversation, and they were all happy. And maybe where we came from was all shout, but you just notice that family and say, I like what is going on there. So it's by sitting down to see. And that's why I said those childhood wounds, they're unhealed. They're still there. They're there.
So when the situation comes, like you go to your subconscious to pull it out.
You just go to your subconscious. But because you didn't plan to do it, you do that.
Yeah.
And there's also the cultural pressure. You see that cultural pressure?
Okay.
Whereby you want people around you to feel like you're not failing as a parent.
All right.
So can I shout when this child has done something to show people, to prove that yes.
And it looks like it's very cumbersome with African people, kind of.
Well, we can say African people.
Okay.
Because when we go online, we get to see African moms. In fact, they've labeled us.
Okay. So, Ogochukwu, let me come to you. She said childhood trauma, and then she has also mentioned that it has this cultural undertone that because around here we shout. And just a little diversion. Even in churches sometimes, you shout.
With the microphone.
So are there other things? Because I'm beginning to think that could stress be part of this thing. Are there other things that are contributing to why parents should be shouting?
Okay, thank you. Thank you for this conversation. This issue of yelling can also be as a result of stress overflow.
Okay.
Okay. Once one is stressed and experiencing burnout, of course, the only thing that can come easy is to yell so that you correct. Because one thing about yelling is why some parents feel it's working is because when you yell, you get quick response. You get quick correct, as in the correction, you just everything quick. But for them, they think it's giving them results. But they don't know the impact it's having on the children. So stress could be part of it. Just like Blessing mentioned, is what they learned growing up. So they don't even know better. So it comes up, and again, there are other things that can trigger it in the environment. Okay. That societal pressure you talked about. I'll give an example. Okay. You're standing with your child and another parent just came around you to greet you. And let's say your child didn't say good morning to that parent. And that parent is like trying to reprimand your child. Oh, why don't you want to greet me? You quickly shout at the boy to impress. You are not really, yelling to correct the behavior. You are actually yelling to impress the person. So that's where that societal pressure
comes. So the person will realize that you are in control.
You are in control.
And also for the person not to feel disrespected, kind of.
And one last thing I'll say here is people also yell when they feel they're not in control. They feel by yelling, they will reclaim a lot of things trigger yelling, honestly.
Okay, so is some kind of action that we put out there to feel like we're in control, like we're in charge. Still to you, Ogochukwu, do you think that yelling is a disciplinary action or just an outburst? Do you think there's some measure of discipline that you can extract when you yell?
Okay, so some parents use it for both. Okay, for outbursts and also for correction. But the question is that the best method? Because when you use harsh method to discipline, you're actually not correcting the behavior.
Okay.
You might be damaging the emotional part of that child. When you yell or when you have to say one thing over and over, you're raising your voice, you're telling the child like, you can't hear me once, so let me shout and raise the pitch of my voice. So next time you're already conditioning their brain. So next time you are talking, they are not acting until they wait for you to hit the pitch before they can now respond to you. So and again, it makes children to live in fear. So they are going through something, but they don't want to tell their parents because when I say it now, my parents will start yelling,
shout,
and they don't want to hear that. So they go back into their shell.
So and that's not helping.
It's not helping. So for me, I won't say it's an approach for discipline. For me, it's just an outburst. But some people use it for both. But sometimes, if you want to use yelling for correction, you can, how you say, beat a child with the left hand and quickly bring the child. So if you catch yourself yelling, call yourself back to order and say, oh, my dear, come, let's have a conversation about this thing. I feel frustrated when I had to say this over and over. But when you yell and just leave it like that, the child will just
go and then take it as your own measure of discipline. So, Blessing, do you have anything to add to this?
Yes. So when Ogo was talking, something dropped on my mind. Another thing that makes well-meaning parents yell is disorganization.
Okay.
So you see,
lack of structure.
Lack of structure.
Okay.
Those early morning noise of where is your shoe, where is the second leg, where is this? You just realize that it's because things were not put in place.
Okay.
So they are rushing to school. Time is going. They're seeing everything. So
rushing to church, rushing to
so that lack of structure of putting things in place, it makes some people yell. Because a parents can be yelling because they don't know where they put their car keys. Is that bad?
Yes. So
the children have no business with the keys, but the woman is frustrated that where did I keep my keys? And that makes her
she lashes out on
she's lashing out on anyone
who is within range. Because sometimes it's not only children, though. It's like
anyone that is
partner. You can even shout at you and say, "Where did I keep my key? I just dropped it here."
Yes.
Meanwhile, where do you find the key? So this has happened to me too, and then my daughter comes to say, "Mommy, please, where did you find the key?" So initially, I would think it's a harmless question. You know, when somebody wants to be happy for you, and I said, "Oh, Jerry, in my bedroom," and you know, maybe that shouting took place in the parlor. And then I say, "Oh, your bedroom? Where in your bedroom?" I said, "On my table." It's okay. So you know when somebody is being sarcastic now to tell you. So I really agree with both of you that it doesn't help achieve discipline as much as we think it's doing as parents. So I want to quickly go into what are the tools to help reduce yelling, because this thing looks like it's affecting somebody's health though. I remember my mom then, she would say, if you shout and the veins, I'm sure most African mothers say it, vein is coming out of you, you will grow older. So please, what can we do? Since you're not telling us that it's not, what can we do to reduce yelling? Blessing.
Okay, so I think the first thing is it being intentional.
Okay.
So ask yourself some questions, like to even know that you are yelling, because some people will tell you, "This is my normal voice." True. And some people will tell you, "Okay, so what I say?" You are like, "Oh, I will," and I'm like, "Oh, you." So naturally, some people actually raise their voices.
Okay.
They increase their volume when they want to say something.
Okay.
So I think the first thing is that self-awareness.
Okay.
So ask yourself, do I raise my voice naturally when gisting? Because I remember growing up, when myself and my siblings are in a room and we're talking, we're gisting, my dad will come and say, "Are you fighting?"
Okay.
Which is a pointer, but he talks quietly. It's a pointer that we were shouting and raising our voice, and we say we are laughing, and we say, "What kind of laugh is this?" So I think the first thing is to look at yourself to say, do I raise my voice? Then why, at what point do I raise my voice? And you know, one thing that helps to actually say this yelling thing or shouting, like we call it, is to see that I need results. Okay. Will I get results by yelling? You want to know, is my child going to become afraid of me just to allow me, just have me do what I want to do? Or I need a permanent result? Because if you keep saying the same thing for a week, for 2 months, that means that child has not mastered that art. So you want to ask, is this working? So if it's not working, let's try something else.
I hear you, Blessing. So systems, having a structure is better than shouting, it's better than yelling, because it's going to help you have a routine, sort of.
It helps. It helps a lot.
And then the issue of trying to know, because you're being right here when you say some persons believe that they are not shouting. This is my. I think it's even like a normal, a gist of a balance here in Nigeria. Is am I shouting? Like trying to feel like, okay, this is normal. I've not even raised my voice, so to say. So I also think that probably connecting with a child before correcting can help reduce yelling. Which was what I think Gogo was trying to say. So you want to say, come, let's have a conversation. And it doesn't mean that what the child did is good, right? Because sometimes these things that they do trigger us from being angry. But you're saying that having the desire to have a conversation is better than trying to have an outburst. The outburst will not produce the needed correction in that child. So I'm now looking at when we are tired. I remember when you said that stress contributed. When we're tired, when we're exhausted, what do you advise that we do? Since you said it's part of what's blessing.
So the best thing to do when you're tired, you're overwhelmed, let your children know. Mom is tired. Mom has had a very hectic day. See, our children can listen.
True.
They just think, they don't understand.
True.
Let them know I've had a very rough day. My day didn't go as planned. So right now I am tired. Sometimes I'll tell my princess that the only thing I have right now is just to bite. Like, so everybody just stay away from my room.
Okay, then the only thing you have is to
Right
bite.
now, like I don't have anything good left to offer. Like that's how my day has been. And they're like, okay, mom. And I go to my room because sometimes when you hang around, you see what you shouldn't see.
Okay.
You know, when we talked about stress, you mentioned stress. You're overwhelmed at work. You come back, and the first thing you see is the way the old house is. The noise you are going to make is not what that child has done. It is from what your boss did. It's displacement. So you're going to pour it on someone around.
So you're saying we should rather pause and move away.
We should pause.
Yes.
But let your children, because they might want something from you and they can come asking, Mom, can I have this? So the more they keep asking, that's where that outburst can come from.
Okay.
So let them know that you've had
or
a
anybody
rough day,
with you in the
or
house
anyone, yes.
that you have
Like,
had.
I've had it. Let me get myself together. I want to go back inside.
This
I'll be back.
is interesting. This is really getting interesting. Ogo, what do you have to add? Because we need as many solutions as we can to help us to stop.
You mentioned connecting. Connection before correction.
Okay.
It's one of the ways that you can help, because yelling doesn't give results. Your children will end up running away. They will not tell you, they will start living the life of avoidance. Like, they do something bad, they cover it up.
Okay.
Because once mommy hears of it or daddy hears of it, they will yell, so they cover it up. They will stop confiding in you. So the first thing to do is connect with them. Always create, like she said, communication. Let the communication line be open. Don't say they are too young, they will not understand. Let them know how you're feeling. It's not about them. Don't say, you guys are too loud. I feel frustrated with the level of your noise. You are communicating.
Okay.
Because when you say, you guys are too loud, they will begin to feel they are doing something bad. But you are the one communicating that, the noise level, I feel frustrated right now because of the noise level. Can you people give me space? Communication. See, no matter how young children, even the baby you're feeding can understand what you're saying.
I agree.
So that communication is key. And again, when you now say it to them, you will now hear them say, mommy needs some rest. You say all of them, they will even excuse you.
Yes.
So mommy needs some rest.
Yes.
So we should communicate with our children. Then create routine. She said something about structure.
Yes.
Routine is also important.
It's helpful.
We're having a conversation before this session where she was talking about routine. What you should do.
Knowing what
the
next to do.
one, yes. So when a child didn't follow the routine, you are not going to yell, but you say, someone did not complete this task. Automatically the child will know the task and go back. Because sometimes when we yell,
it's stipulated.
Yes. Sometimes when we yell, we confuse them the more.
You don't even know what is
They
going
will even
on.
say,
Yes.
I don't know. That's why sometimes they will even ask you, why are you yelling?
Yes. Yes.
African mother will say, me
Yes.
yelling. But exactly that, because some of them, sometimes don't mistake me. You say, I don't even know what I did. She's just yelling. I don't even know what I did.
Yes. That's quite relatable.
Yes.
Yeah, if you're listening to us, and I mean, you can agree with this is relatable. This is quite relatable, and sincerely, it's something we need to take care so that we don't also hurt the people around us, make them feel unheard, or let them get stuck in a cycle. That's just what this session today is going to help us do. I'll go to you again. Is there the role, or is there any role of emotional intelligence in helping a parent stop yelling?
Of course. Emotional intelligence, because like she mentioned earlier about self-awareness, it starts with you being aware of how you're wired, how you respond to things. So emotional intelligence will help. Once you know yourself, understand, what triggers your emotions, you'll be able to, learn how to handle it better. Yes. And also understand that other people too have emotions. So you're dealing
That's-
with your own, and
that's spot on.
you put the
Yes.
other person too into consideration. Because one thing I tell people, if you understand that other people are feeling, the same way, you regulate yours, and you give them some respect too.
Yes.
So what I would say, emotional intelligence is needed for parenting. Honestly, you can't do parenting without being emotionally intelligent. If not, you end up frustrating. You end up raising children that are not emotionally, stable.
And that can be disempowering to
Yes.
a child. So where the child is supposed to probably have a sense of belonging to be more productive, you are now breaking him or her and making the person get distracted.
I remember something. A child said
Please
to me,
shoot.
"Oh, my mom think we are cool, but it's okay like that."
Mm.
And she thinks
They're
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
they are good, but it's okay like that.
Yes.
By the time we continued that conversation, that girl broke down there in tears and was telling me all the things that have been happening. But she will still cover up so that the mother will think. And the little things she's going through out there that she has not been able to tell her because of the approach. So emotional intelligence is good, because if you understand that, even you as a parent, if you flash back what happened to you when you were much younger, I told her something. A lot of things I didn't enjoy growing up, I told myself that I will not do them. I didn't enjoy. If you bring out cane like this, I will faint even before the cane will touch me. So I made up my mind that anything that has to do with cane, I won't do correction with cane. I started looking for other ways to, discipline children instead of using cane. I'm not saying that if you're using cane, you're doing something wrong, don't get me, but knowing when to use it. I would rather use my mouth. I can have a conversation with you and the child is crying and they ask me, what did you do to the child? Nothing. We're just having a conversation. The child is becoming aware. Oh, I did something wrong. I did not use cane to do that.
And that's true, because growing up, I would dread my mom waking me up to have a conversation than for
If you felt to be beaten.
yes to flog me 3. That 3, they flog you, you will squeeze your face or you cry, but you move away from where you were flogged to go and either finish crying. But when somebody is having conversations with you, it has a way of entering even the thing that was not set out. You get? So that's how strongly it is. So listen, I'm coming to you because this yelling thing is not a small matter. Because like I said at the beginning, most parents want it to be handled, but to change it, but they don't know how to go about it. So is there some sort of outline steps that you can give to parents listening, or anybody, members of the family listening to us, that they can take in terms of guarding themselves and even the people at home from yelling at them? And then just touch also on effects of yelling on the people, because I think that it's not just one way.
Yes.
That when you shout and shout, maybe you feel bad or you feel great and go back to your room. The person that we yelled on, how does this get to them?
So the thing is, I like that part of the effect of yelling, because research actually shows that the same effects that yelling has on children is the same effect that corporal punishment has on children.
Really?
But it's something that you feel, I'm not touching a child, but research shows that it brings those negative behaviors
To that
children.
child.
So children have anxiety issues.
Okay.
It's not every child you can yell on. Some children cry because they shouted at
Yes,
you. That's
yes,
the cry.
yeah.
Why are you crying? You shouted at me. I'm like, But for some others, it doesn't bother them. So because we all have different personalities, some children, if you yell at them, it scatters them. They can't organize themselves. When
Right.
you're teaching a child, a parent is teaching a child. I know that sometimes we say if you can't teach your child, avoid it.
Yes.
You're teaching your child to do mathematics now. So you're doing 1 + 1. And the child is saying 4. At that point, you're like, are you okay? How can it be 4? But sometimes it's just because you have increased your voice and the child is scattered. The child is not sure anymore. So the child is not calm to know. So the child says, let me just say a number. Maybe we can move forward. So that actually happens. So the effect is that it gives children anxiety. It gives them some behavioral problems.
Okay.
Some children, when you yell at them, they just want to be left alone. They withdraw. Yes. They withdraw and they just want to be, they become even ashamed of you. Because some parents yell at children outside the home and it embarrasses them. So you see that some children do not want to relate with their parents outside the home because they feel she will disgrace me. He will disgrace me. So let me avoid them. So it makes them to just withdraw, to just ignore you. And of course, you don't enjoy a healthy relationship with your child. You can't have conversations.
Once he or she discovers that you're
the child
consistently
cannot tell you.
yelling at him or her.
Yes, because what we say is that at the end of the day, if children do good things and bad things, they should feel safe to run home. To know that we can fix it at home.
That's true.
But the moment they know that, if I come home, because the guy was saying something that he was on a phone with his friend. In secondary school, he was on the phone with his friend saying, what number did you choose? In that, they did an exam.
Okay.
And it was like, you got number. That one said, number 2. The guy said, I missed it. I've missed it. Father, his father hearing his conversation. His father started shouting on him. You've even failed. He has not finished the exam. He has not seen the results.
I get that.
So he says because of that, he doesn't want to pick calls around his parents. Because I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to my friend. What if my friend was wrong?
I see. So it kind of alienates your child from you. And once a child who is in your care gets alienated from you, then you are gradually losing that child.
You're losing the child.
That is if you haven't lost the child.
And the child is definitely talking to
someone else. That's what we're saying.
Or something else.
Yes, which you don't know about. And so that thing begins to exert control that you ought to have had as a parent. So this is such an eye-opening conversation today because people ask how now? How will you say you will not shout? So not yelling, parenting without yelling isn't about being perfect, right? It's about being present and intentional in the lives of the children and the people, members of the family that you are living with. That's what we're saying today. And it's something that can be in control, that can be controlled. And just like they have mentioned a lot of things today, they've talked about you not yelling when you are stressed, when talking to people or your children when you're stressed. Blessing here mentioned that it's something that you come in and let everybody know that, look, you're not in that mood right now. I'm exhausted. And sometimes they even say, I'm not in a very good mood right now, so I would love to be left alone. I do that one. I love to say it, and I love to say I would like to have a me time. So these are little ways that you can achieve that. It's not, we're not saying anybody is perfect, because truth be told, at some point people do things that can make your volume rise. But again, God here told us that when you realize that, you call back yourself, and this can only happen with self-awareness, self-regulation, right? And so we are gradually turning it down on this conversation. But one thing that I would like to hear from both of you, because African parents, although our audience goes beyond this, we enjoy that form of control. Don't you think that if you're not yelling, you're losing that's the respect, the authority? Yes, that's it. That you are exerting. You know, if they will say those days, the parents will just say, if I call you once, if I call your name one more time. So don't you think that this parenting style is looking like, without yelling, it's looking like a modern thing that the people here are not in touch with? Most people would not agree with you that. So what do you have to tell them? Because we're shifting culture. That's what we're doing here. So that you don't think because you were raised that way, that is most productive. So is there a way you can let our audience know that, okay, this is cultural shifting, it's not productive, and this is what you should be doing right now? So if they're living yelling, what do you want them to be doing, Ogochukwu?
Okay.
What do you want us to be doing?
Since we're shifting the culture, parents should know that it worked in our own time doesn't mean it made us better.
Okay.
A lot of us experienced, some of us, I know where some of us are supposed to be today if they have handled us better, honestly. So all those statements that, we didn't die when they did it to us, we did not die. We can't work right now. Yes, we can't work right now. So what parents should do more is learn to also negotiate with your children when they are, set up expectations. I will give you an example. When I was in the classroom, I don't have class rules. I didn't use the word rules. Once you put a rule, they'll call it so person means this person's rule. But we sat together in the class and we came up with expectations. What is expected from everyone, and each expectation has a consequence. So once you know you are going against the expectation, the consequence is there looking at you to the face. So some consequence will be that you will miss something you love to do. So if it's a reward, one that will attract a reward, you will get a reward. If it's one that will attract the other one, you will get it. So reinforcement is good. One of the ways to increase the behavior, because when we are talking about discipline, it's not only about negative behavior, even good behavior
should be rewarded.
We should reward good behavior so that it can continue. Then what I would say here, before you even correct any child, ask yourself, what do you want to achieve? You want to reduce that behavior or increase it? Do you want to reduce the occurrence?
Very key.
Or you want to stop it, or you have to make a decision.
Again, setting expectations.
Because if a child is 3, there are behaviors that are expected of that child. So you may want to reduce it. By the time the child will get to 5, you may not exhibit that behavior anymore because of the age. It comes with stages. So understand the stage where your child is per time. Then set expectations, have a conversation. See, parents, we can't stop talking to our children. Let's always create that time where that's why we push for family meetings. Let's create that time where we'll have time to converse with our children, hear them out. Even during the expectation settings, let their voice be heard. They know what they want too. Let everybody contribute depending on their age anyway.
For those that can talk.
So reinforcement matters. Reinforce good behavior, because when they see that you're encouraging good behavior, they will want to behave well, as in more. They want to do it more.
Especially when there's a reward attached to it. You want to do that and get the reward.
Then know when to also take away what they enjoy best. I call it Primark principle. Know when to, you love to do this. You can only enjoy it when this is done. So a child wants to feed herself and is now playing with the food, and you're telling the child, this is food time, not toy time. So you want to play, then I'll take the food, take your toy. And the child is crying for the food, then are you ready to eat? Is it that you play with the toy or that's negotiation. So we should calm down.
I hear you so well, because this, I keep saying it, that this is highly relatable because it's a family issue, and every one of us comes from a home, comes from a family. And it doesn't really matter what type of family, because at the end of the day, there's a place you're calling home and you go there. So, listen, for those of us who may not follow this Ogochukwu's system, maybe they don't have the strength, is there anything, maybe a professional person or some sort of thing that we can go to gain the knowledge? Because some people are willing, but they really don't know how to access help, right? So is there any place, or yourself, or even Ogochukwu, is there anywhere our audience can come to gain this knowledge and be more effective with their parenting practice?
So like Ogochukwu and myself, we're both parenting coaches. Right, so we have our YouTube pages, we have Instagram, we have LinkedIn, whereby I have lots of videos on YouTube. The Parenting Journey with Blessing. That's my YouTube page.
Parenting Journey with Blessing. Not say I didn't do anything for you.
So there are many videos, and I break things down. So I say it in simple terms so anybody can understand. No big grammar included. And because over time, these are things that we have practiced and we have seen them work. We've seen our children bloom. We've seen them change just through this thing.
Flourishing through.
Yes, because for me, I have 3 boys. So you know what it means to have boys.
So you're mama boys. This is serious.
So you know what it means to have voice.
Yes.
And I always say that if I have successfully not raised my voice and I get results, then anybody can do it.
Okay.
So what we focus on, like she said, we focus on when a child has done something. Let me break it down now to make it easy for parents.
Okay.
There's something called natural or logical consequence.
Okay.
So there's natural consequence, there's logical consequence. A good example is this. My third prince is a very energetic one. He's very strong-willed. He has a mind of his own. And I said, when you finish eating, everybody wash your plates after eating. And he says, and I noticed he wasn't washing his own plates. So one day I called him. It's like I said, it's not shouting. I called him. I said, I've observed you're not washing your plates. What's going on? He said, Mom, I don't feel like. Those were his words. I don't feel like. And I said, okay, no problem. I will make you feel like.
Okay.
So I just called his two brothers and said, two of you for 2 days, when you finish eating, don't wash your plates. He will wash your plates. Of course, those ones were happy to say, take my plates and wash, take my plates. And after day 1, he said, Mom, I now feel like only my plates. I said, so we're getting somewhere. So now you feel like only your plates. I said, we have day 2 to go. And after then now, he'll be washing all the plates even when he stays in the sink. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't shout. So it's a natural consequence because you tie it to what that child has done. So it's a natural consequence. There's no logical consequence whereby the child, for example, has fought outside. And you just say, you know what, because you fought outside. In this home, we do not fight outside. You are not going to play outside for 3 days. And that's for a child that likes outside. Because at the end of the day, you have to understand the personalities of your child.
The children,
The child that likes to go out and go for party, you can, at that point, you're saying, because you've done this thing, you will most likely miss that party. Because you want the child to remember. Now, my prince is, actually my third one, he said, Mom, just beat me, let me go. I said, that's why I don't beat you. I want you to remember and I want a change. So for 3 days, you remember why we're here. But beating you for seconds, you can't remember, you forget. So that's why, you know, some people say they use the cane and all, and it's okay. It's okay if you want to keep using the cane. It's fine, you know, but you do get the results that you need. You need results.
Oh, wow. It's been a whole load of information, and I'm sure they're soaking it in, because sometimes you know these things, but you just need gentle reminders. So you might be on the long haul of people who probably know this, but you just need some gentle nudge here and there. And then for some other person, you may not even know that these things are possible. For you, the way you have always known it is that you can go all the way, do what you have been raised to do, the way you were raised up. They were shouting, they were beating. So you're replicating the same thing, but that cycle can stop. That's what we're saying. And the truth is that your calm is your superpower. Because the children are not going to respect you because you're shouting. They are going to respect because they are watching what you are doing. So that's why sometimes some people don't even talk too much, but because people who live with them see that what they are saying outside tallies with what is happening inside, they tend to respect and submit totally. So a lot is lying on us as parents. That's what we're saying. To actually look at ourselves more. What is it that is triggering us? That's what you're saying. Is it the behavior of the children? If it's the behavior of the children, what can we do differently? Do we have a structure at home for them to know that from 6 a.m., 5 a.m. when I wake up, this is the next thing to do? Or are you just leaving it to them? Sunday morning, oh, yeah, Akemi, where is your shoe? Hey, Wale, where is your bag? Nkechi, you have not, no. It doesn't work that way. You're going to lose a lot of them. And so these two people here are parenting coaches, experts on that. And they are willing, they have given out their YouTube channel. Ogochukwu, we didn't give up to your YouTube channel. This is a good place. Or your Instagram.
Yes, my Instagram is @goldencounselor.
Hey, don't forget it though. At Golden Counselor.
On LinkedIn, Ogochukwu Anyanwu.
Okay.
On YouTube, I have Golden Counselor too.
Okay, Blessing
My
said that.
Instagram is Imparential. That's my Instagram handle, Imparential. And there's the parenting journey with Blessing on YouTube, and LinkedIn is Blessing Oladimeji. So that's
Blessed Imperential. Spell this your Imperential.
OINPARENCIAL.
Okay,
So
I'm sure they got that. And it's been a beautiful time here. Sincerely, I am a parent. I'm also a parenting coach, and I have life points with UC. So you can see it was an amazing conversation today. And so any of us you want to reach out to, please feel free. The handles are being placed here at the screen, right? And any form of challenges when it comes to parenting, you're free to do that. You can't parent alone if you have need. I keep saying asking for help is not a sign of weakness. It's a very great sign of strength. It means you want to do better. You want to become better than who you are. And so nobody can stop you. And so we are asking now that you subscribe to this channel. If you have watched up to this point, you need to subscribe and then be ready to see more episodes, because after now, many more are coming. And so we would like you to strike the notification button so that once we upload new videos, you'll be among the first people to be notified. Till then, it's a wrap from us, and we say bye-bye.
Bye.